Hey guys, Blue Bear Crypto back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the total amount of electricity that I've used in the last year. A few videos back we did a video on how much I've actually spent on electricity from my electricity supplier, but this video is going to be talking about the absolute total amount of electricity that I've used for the year. Luckily, with the battery that I've got, we get a lot of insight into how much I import, how much I export, how much I get from my solar panels, and basically what the battery does. As of the last video, we imported, which means we spent money on 16,289 kilowatts worth of power, and that is between 2024 and 2025. This was a few days short of 2025, so this wouldn't actually, it will be a little bit more than this, probably 16,400 maybe. But yeah, we can get confirmation on the actual number now. So this is Lux Power, the battery system that I've got, and it gives me a whole lot of data. So currently I've generated 0.5 kilowatts of power today. It's been a really cloudy day, so next to nothing, but still I was quite blown away when on a fully cloudy day you still can generate like 200 watts of power when there's no sun. That did surprise me a little bit. Currently we are importing 5.2 kilowatts of power, and that will be a combination of my Casper miners. Okay, it's gone down now. It might have been something like the toaster being on, or the cooker. This is what I can use to see what's been used at the moment, what's been used by solar, and then this is consumption from the grid, and this is my battery state. So the way that I usually run this is the battery will stay fully charged from the cheapest part of the day, so it'll take 3 hours to charge it. Those 3 hours which are the cheapest, that's when it will charge, and then between 4 and 7, which is my peak times with the highest electricity costs, that's when the battery will provide my electricity instead of taking it from the grid. So we can just cut out the most expensive times, take advantage of the cheapest times, and hope for the best. We've got the total numbers now for the year. That is 2025, and this is 2024. So if we look at the difference between now, I've currently used 1,135 kilowatts of power in 2025. Comparing that to January of 2024, I'd only use 694. So my Octominer would have actually come online probably in January, maybe Feb, and then I think it got to a point where it was on permanently. So the total amount of electricity that I've used this year is 19,300.4 kilowatts. That's the total amount that I've used. So we got 2,937 kilowatts for free or from the sun. And I'm not taking into account the cost of the panels or anything in this video. I've saved £368.59 on electricity just from solar last year, which I think is pretty good. If you consider everything was about break even or just a bit behind, if we take into account the bull run and how much things are going to go up from there, hopefully that is going to be quite an exponential gain. So I'm pretty happy with that. If you ever want to make yourself feel a little bit depressed, you can have a look at Octopus Agile's pricing previously. So it must have first become a thing in 2017, and this is the average rate that somebody on Octopus Agile would have paid for the year. And what is the highest here? It says record low here, but this is actually the highest. So Octopus Agile's record high in 2017 was 35p, which you pay every single day on like the high rates now. And then, but the record low was just minus 0.3p, so not good negatives, not too massive highs. The way that I'm looking at Octopus Agile's tariff is, what is it most likely going to do? Like if you look at 2023, record high was 67.2, record low was minus 18.1. So per kilowatt hour used at that point, it would have been minus 18. So you'd have been paid 18p for every kilowatt, basically. Madness. I'm trying to work out, based on past performance, what we're probably going to expect. I'm hoping that it's something similar to 2023 and 2024, because this is when wind energy is more common now. So comparing it to like these years when wind energy wasn't that much of a focus isn't too reliable, because wind is the thing that pulls it down. So basing off January 2023, where it was quite high and then it kind of falls off slowly. It takes a while. So this is quite high. This is all dependent on weather as well. But then once it gets to April, when you've got your solar and your wind, which is they're quite good times for that, it does drop off, and this is what makes it worth it, especially in 2024. So if you look, these are average days of electricity usage, and if you look at like April, an average day was 15p a kilowatt, 16, 14, 3, 5, 8, 4, 7, 9. So these are really good days back to back. And then, yeah, same in August, they had a really good run. The fact on average that these months are so low, it means that it is worth it just to hold out for the short days where it is super expensive. And it doesn't bother me too much, because I can use my battery to not have to pay that amount. It just means I have to turn the rigs off. 2024 was lovely. I'm hoping that we can start seeing some sort of decline, which it happened around the 23rd. And if it actually does, then it's going to line up quite nicely with the bull run. We are going to have some pretty decent rates just to keep mining. We can only hope. But yeah, based on 2024, it does fade off. 2024 was a really good year for Agile. I think it was a great year for me to start doing it. But then if you look at 2023, it wasn't as good. That's when electricity rates were really high. That was also probably a knock-on effect of the Ukraine war. So really cheap rates in 2021. Then 2022 hit with the war, and then yeah, rates just went absolutely insane. I wasn't doing this when this happened. This is just impossible days. 2023 is more of a realistic idea of what's probably going to happen. A combination of 2023 and 2024. It's really not been windy for the past week or so. As boring as that is, when all the nuclear cores are working and we have everything running at a pretty decent level, it does mean that the peaks aren't ridiculously high. So it's not a problem to be on it just to get the absolute minimum. It is a fine tariff to be on at the time. And yeah, I just don't want to switch over because of this 30-day switch back. I don't want to be switching over and then we're suddenly going to come into like a 9 at like 16, 14, 13, 9, those days. So I'm going to keep a close eye on this, and I'm going to hope that we start getting rates that match what it's done previously. So I'm guessing it will be just a mix between 2023 and 24. So I don't think it will probably be as good as it was in 2024. I really, really hope it does. If not, I'm not too worried. What are we on now? The 18th. In 2024, it was a little bit expensive comparatively to that year, and then it started falling off at the end. So I guess I'll just have to look at the end of January 2024 and kind of work out what pricing that is going to look like. At the moment, it probably would be cheaper for me to be on a different tariff, maybe Flux or Cozy or the EV tariff. So if I went on to something like Cozy, that's between 4 and 7 is 12.48p, between 1 and 4 is 12.48, and between 10 and midnight it's 12.4. I could do that, and I could set plugs to do that, and then also just charge my battery in between these times, so it wouldn't. This might be an option if things don't get better, if I ever decide to not do that. Okay, so you need to have a heat pump basically to sign up for that, so may not be possible. Agile is what it is. Shapeshifters. Oh, this is for business. So if I went onto that one, that would be 16.98p. Not amazing. What's Flux saying now? So yeah, if I went to Flux right now, I could have 3 hours at 15p a kilowatt, and then 24p, which is more than average. But then it's just the swapping thing. if I can sign up for this, this is the one that people seem to want to do. Yeah, you get 5 hours at 8.5p, which is really, really good. That is really good. But the day rate is 25.4p, and it would mean that I am locked to 8.5p, so I wouldn't be able to mine on the Bitcoin miner or the Cadena miner, the KD6. They're both 1 or 2 or 3p a kilowatt before they're not profitable. I'd be able to do it if I wasn't mining. This would be the absolute cheapest for me, reliably. It also depends on how on it Octopus are in terms of checking if you're actually eligible for this kind of stuff. We'll definitely keep an eye on the rates and see if they are lining up to the past few years. I'm hoping they do, but we can only wait and find out. So the next few months is going to be a lot of waiting for rates, what's going to happen in the bull run. A lot of things to be excited for. I am buzzing. I don't know if you can tell. And that's it for me. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments. Like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. And let me know what you want to see popping off in the next bull run. I'll see you guys in the next one.